What's happening, guys? So I know this is kind of a longer video. I'm doing this on purpose. I want my trainer to be able to see everything that I've been doing and working on with the squats and deadlifts. We went over a lot of different technique points, and while he said things were pretty good, some of the things I needed to work on were definitely my setup and basically just trying to keep tighter, having more purpose to my lifts instead of just grabbing the weight, taking it off the rack, and then just lifting it. Have more of a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Everything needs to be mechanically sound. You need to be more like a machine. You need to be able to grab the weight, have a purpose, and stay tight. And that's something I wasn't doing well, and I knew I wasn't doing it very well. I just needed somebody to tell me, basically. So I'm going to show a lot of different angles from different from the two different lifts. He wanted to get a couple of the side angles for a little extra technique help, but what I want to talk about on this video for the most part is, I've talked before about how volume is kind of king when it comes to lifting weights and making strength gains and making hypertrophy gains as well. And you can't just, just because volume is king doesn't mean you can go out there and just, blast yourself every single workout. It doesn't work like that. It needs to be in a kind of progressive manner, progressive overload. And one thing that I was making a mistake before, which I knew I was doing, and I just had a hard time correcting myself, and I was slowly starting to get in that direction, but it's good that I have somebody now to force me to do it, is lower the weight a little bit more and do more sets and reps with lighter weight so you can get more volume in without burning yourself out all the time. I was getting caught in these 3x3s quite often and putting forth maximal effort, and I wasn't really getting anywhere. It worked great at first, but what doesn't work at first, So on this day, I did a 5x8 with 270 pounds on squats and a 5x5 at 345 pounds on the deadlift. Normally that would seem like super easy weight for me, given the amount of reps I was doing, but I'll tell you what, it was not easy. It was far from easy. It was a heck of a workout. I was really fatigued by the end of the deadlifts, and I still had to do some leg presses, which I got in there, but it really goes to show that you don't need to just kill yourself and put maximum effort out there all the time. You need to be getting your volume in one way or another, and the extra sets and extra reps is going to get you there at a lighter weight without burning out so much. So it was good. I really enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen here. And I don't know if I'm going to talk through this whole thing. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to end up being like a 9 or 10 minute video, so it's pretty lengthy. And if you guys watch all the way through, bless your hearts, because it's a lot of squatting and deadlifting. But if you're a squatting and deadlifting fan, this video is going to be for you. Anyway, trying to stay tight, like I said. One of the things I mentioned to him that I was having problems with that I knew that I needed to do, but I was struggling to be able to do it, was, my breathing. I know you want to take a big breath of air, you want to brace, you want to get down and then push out against either your abs or your belt if you're wearing one to get the weight up. But the problem that I was having when I was trying to do this was I was always losing my breath and tightness on the way down. Every time I would go through the descent, I would kind of lose that tightness and I would start to lose my breath a little bit. And he basically told me it's a very simple fix. All you have to do is make sure you put your tongue on the top of your mouth, and that'll close your glottis, and that will help you stay tight and keep that air in. So, I'm working on that. I tried to do that. I thought it was working pretty well, and working on squeezing my glutes and my legs, and keeping everything firm and keeping everything tight. And it felt really good on squats. I got to tell you, I noticed a massive improvement right away. This 5x8 went a lot easier than it would have if I wasn't doing that, so that's a good thing. It wasn't quite as simple when I got to deadlifts. When I got to deadlifts, he went through some different things about how you either, start from the top down or bottom up. He prefers the top down. The bottom up approach, where you're kind of grabbing the bar with your legs still straight and then packing your lats and sitting back into it. That's pretty similar to what I was doing before, so I started with that, and it went okay. I felt a lot better with the squats than I did with the deadlifts. I'm going to give both of them a shot. Next session I'll probably start with the top down approach and see if that works a little bit better. I wanted to start with the bottom up because, like I said, it was pretty similar to what I was doing anyway, and it went alright. I was not keeping the tightness the way I'd like to. I was losing my air when I didn't want to, so it wasn't perfect. In fact, I would say I didn't really improve much on the deadlifts on this day, but I can't be too upset. I'm not going to get it all right away. There's a lot of things to think about, a lot of things to look over, and I'm happy that I made improvements on squats. The squats went pretty darn good. And to be perfectly honest, I needed to work on my squats more than my deadlifts anyways. And, you know, I've got 100 pounds on my squats with my deadlift, and, you know, it really shouldn't be that high. I had a troll, I don't remember how long ago, a few weeks ago, he even called me out on it and called me a deadlift beta bitch. And I had no idea what that meant, but after I asked for explanation of what said deadlift beta bitch means, it basically meant somebody who loves deadlift and has 100 more pounds on his deadlift and does a squat and 200 more than his bench, and, you know, claims that the deadlift is king. And you know what? If that's what a deadlift beta bitch is, then I'm a deadlift beta bitch. At this point in my life anyway. But I told my coach coming in, he asked me, what's the one thing that you really want to try to improve on? And I said my squat. I really need to improve my squat. You know, I know my form isn't perfect on bench because back prior to my elbow problems, I wasn't even thinking about powerlifting. I was just doing bodybuilding style benching, so that needs some work, but I know the strength is going to come back fast on bench, and it already has been. It's coming back super fast. Now that I'm able to bench again, it's going to bump up, it's going to get there. I'm not terribly worried about that. I'm more worried about squats. So it's definitely good news that I've been able to get some tips, get some pointers, work through it, and I'm really excited to get moving on it. And then, you know, looking at the actual volume itself, even though the weight is so much less than I was normally doing for the amount of reps that I'm doing, the volume that I'm getting with the extra sets and the extra reps is almost double what I was doing before. So I'm going to get a heck of a lot more volume on my squats than I was before, as well as deadlifts. So definitely a worthwhile investment. I think it's going to pay dividends. I'm excited about it. I'm digging the RPE scale as well. It's kind of funny, that was something that I was researching quite a bit. I saw it being talked about a lot out there. Some of the big lifters were always, you know, talking about what their RPE was, and I saw Johnny Candido did a video on it, and then there was some follow-up videos to that as well. You know, Johnny Candido wasn't a big fan of it, but then there was an influx of videos that came out after that, kind of going to the defense of it, and it really makes a lot of sense. And I was doing a lot of research on it, and I was thinking about how I might be able to incorporate it into my own training. So it's kind of cool that now that I've got a coach, he digs RPE, and he went ahead and put it into my programming and kind of taught me about it. So it's going great. Who knows where it'll actually take me, but it's just in the beginning. I've only gotten through, this is my second workout. I've gotten through 3 total in this first week, and this first week's just kind of a feeler, a tester to see how my body responds, see how things goes. And I'm pretty certain next week we're probably going to pick things up a little bit, get a little more serious. I'm expecting to see a little heavier bench, because the bench was really easy this week, probably easier than it should have been, but he was being cautious with my elbow, and I understand that. I appreciate it, actually, because last thing I need to do is, you know, just get started and then all of a sudden my elbow just goes to crap again, and I can't afford to do that. I need to move forward. Now I really want to do a meet. We're going to talk about a meet, but not right away. You know, there is one coming up towards the end of February around here that I'd like to do. Whether that's realistic or not, we'll see, but we will talk about that. Me and my coach will talk about that once I kind of get a little bit further into it and see if it makes sense to do at that time, or if I should wait, what we should do. Really, it's probably going to all depend upon how my body responds to this training. So got the squats and deadlifts done. Was pretty dang fatigued after that, but I had to do one accessory move. So he had lunges on there, but he said do whatever accessories you want. So I said screw that. I'm not feeling lunges after all that. So I went to the leg press. And this was about, what was this? 320 pounds for 3 sets of 12 at a 8 RPE. Yes, that is 320 pounds. I know it doesn't look like it, but trust me, those are 100-pound plates on the inside there. Believe me if you want, but you don't have to. I don't really care. Anyways, guys, if you made it this far, you are a wonderful person, because that really helps me out. If you liked the video, please like the video, because that helps me out as well. Share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Get on there and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Happy New Year.